We're back on the Naruto Sports Channel. For today's video, we'll be going through my Game Week 6 predictions for the Premier League. We got a lot of big games this week, so let's get right into it. For our first game this week, we have Chelsea versus Manchester City. Manchester City looked really poor last week with their 0-0 draw against Southampton, which they actually should have lost. Kyle Walker got away with a crime right there at the end with Southampton not getting a penalty for his foul. Weird rule in that, but I thought Manchester City should have actually lost that game, getting their second loss of the year, but somehow they managed to get a draw out of it. Man City dropped to fifth after that. Chelsea looked really good last week. I'm expecting Manchester City to bounce back this week with Gabriel Jesus and Ferran Torres potentially producing a goal this week. Chelsea do have a really strong defense with their five in the back, as well as Mendy in goal. But I think Chelsea are going to come off some hiatus this week. I think Manchester City is going to come away with a 2-1 win. For our next match, which is actually be playing at the exact same time as the last game, we have Manchester United versus Aston Villa. Manchester United is quite an interesting team so far. I believe they just come off a 2-1 win against West Ham, which De Gea absolutely saved them with the penalty at the end. So Manchester United, interesting season so far. Ronaldo scored in every game, so you can obviously expect them to score in this game. Aston Villa, on the other hand, very sneaky team so far. They just beat Everton 3-0. The week before, they lost to Chelsea 3-0 as well, but they actually dominated Chelsea throughout the whole game. So I'm expecting Aston Villa to come out shooting this game. Obviously, they have Danny Ings playing. They have Ollie Watkins playing. Those two combinations look very dangerous. So I'm expecting something big from them this week. I believe Leon Bailey came off injured in that game. So that's going to be quite a loss for them. He only played 20 minutes or so. So it's unfortunate to see him go down so early in the season. I know he did have an injury from the Gold Cup coming into this season. So I think this should definitely be a more interesting game, a lot closer than what people are thinking. I think people are too quick to write off Aston Villa. But that being said, I do have Manchester United taking this game 3-2. For our third game of the week, we have Everton versus Norwich City. Norwich City looked absolutely abysmal last week against Watford. I say this every week. Where are the points coming from Norwich City? If it's not coming at home against Watford, then it's not coming in this game against Everton. Everton just got smacked against Aston Villa, but I'm not expecting Norwich to get anything. Maybe not even from the season. They might luck out and get a draw somewhere at home, or even sneak some points away against someone. But this is not the game where that's going to happen. I think Everton's just looking too dominant. Somehow Andrews Townsend is now reincarnated best winger in the league after getting out of that negative Palace system that Roy Hodgson ran for 4 years. So he is looking really strong there. Richarlison, if he plays, he should have a strong outing as well. I have Everton absolutely mopping the floor with Norwich 3-0. For our next game, we have Leeds United versus West Ham. This is another quite interesting game. Leeds United, very offensive, attacking minded squad. West Ham, you could say the same about them. Last week, we had no Mikel Antonio for West Ham. So I'm expecting him to at least get something on the board this week, whether it be a goal or an assist. I think West Ham fans are definitely anticipating his return to the team, especially after their 2-1, what could have been a 2-2 result last week against Manchester United. So Mikel Antonio returning is huge for them. Saeed Benrahma coming in. I think he also could either have the goal or assist. I think those two are going to produce for West Ham, get a goal out of them. Leeds, on the other hand, very slow start to them this season. They have 3 points so far in 5 games, I believe all from ties. So very slow start. I think they'll get the ball rolling eventually, though. I think Bamford might score for them in this game, if anyone. He seems to be always up in front. Maybe Rafinha. One of those two will probably put one away for them. I did get Leeds United's correct prediction last week with a 1-1 draw against Newcastle. I think they will draw again 1-1 this week, and I'm not seeing anything else in this game. Over to the next game, we have Leicester City versus Burnley. Burnley struggling so far this season. They're on 1 point in 5 matches, 3 goals for, 9 goals against. I'm struggling to see where they're also getting points from. They did get a point against Leeds, I believe, earlier in the season. Just lost to Arsenal 1-0. It was a tough loss. I think they had more shots than Arsenal in that game as well. Leicester, on the other hand, tough starts to the schedule for them. They have 6 points so far in 5 games. So also a hard loss against Brighton last week. So I'm expecting Leicester to bounce back this week and just crush Burnley. I believe Jamie Vardy should be starting this game, and he's definitely a good candidate to bring into your fantasy team for this week, especially if you're looking to replace Lukaku, who has a tough matchup against Manchester City. So Vardy's definitely a good buy for this week for a one-off player. Definitely expecting him to score. We'll see how Leicester City fares in this game. I have them winning 4-0 though. Next up, we have Watford versus Newcastle. Watford, good result last week against Norwich, won 3-1. Ismail Assar is in the FIFA's team of the week for the first ever team of the week of FIFA 22. So that's definitely an accomplishment. He looked really good last week. I believe he had 2 goals. So they have a decent squad. Dennis scored as well. I'm still not expecting them to stay up despite that though. Um, yeah, they should have an interesting season. I think they might barely stay up just by the skin of their teeth. But yeah, Newcastle on the other hand, they're in 18th, so 2 points in 5 matches, 2 draws so far. It was a decent draw last week. St. Maximin looks really good. I think St. Maximin will definitely carry Newcastle most of the season, as well as Callum Wilson. Those two as the forwards for Newcastle. I think they have to play every game. If one of those two gets injured, I think they're going to struggle the rest of the season. So with that being said, I think Newcastle win 2-1 with St. Maximin scoring at least 1 goal. Up next, we have Brentford versus Liverpool. Liverpool had a decent result last week, 3-0, all 3 goals off of corners. So I'm expecting them to be pretty dominant on the set pieces. So if you don't have Trent or Van Dijk, definitely bring one of those two in. Even Konate looked really good defensively last week. Although Salah did score and have a shot that led to a goal, he didn't have the greatest of performances. He got shut down pretty much on that right-hand side by Tyreek Mitchell. So I'm expecting Mane to have a bigger role in this game. I think Sergi Canos is on that side, but I think he's gonna rip right through him. Brentford, on the other hand, Ivan Toney had a great showing last week, had a goal and an assist. And Brentford should have scored 4 goals in that game, but I believe 2 were ruled out. I think Liverpool will come ahead in this game and keep a clean sheet. I have Liverpool winning this 2-0. For our first game of Sunday, we have Southampton versus Wolves. This is really even game in my opinion. Southampton came off a great result against Manchester City. Should have actually won it, as I said mentioned earlier. Um, I think Southampton has what it takes to beat Wolves. I think I had them relegated honestly in my predictions. So I think they will come out and stay up this year, um, especially after that convincing game. They also had it, I believe, a decent result against Manchester United earlier this year too. So they're not a half bad team defensively with whether it be Perraud or Kyle Walker-Peters or Livermento in that defensive back line. They've got really good outside backs, so I'm expecting them to do something more in this game. Um, Wolves, on the other hand, still struggling to score goals. Um, I'm expecting Southampton to come away with this one 1-0 with an Armstrong goal and a Walker Peters assist. On to the other game that we have on Sunday, we have Arsenal versus Tottenham Hotspurs. We had the North London Derby, one of the big games of the week. So this one should definitely be interesting. This is definitely one that I'm going to watch the full game of. Arsenal, 2 wins in a row, so they are a little hot right now, but those were not the prettiest wins in the world. 3 goals in those games overall, and just outshot by Burnley. That's just the way it is. You can win, but it won't be pretty. Spurs, on the other hand, 2 straight losses, so definitely out of form compared to Arsenal. But I think Spurs will bounce back in this game. Human Son is healthy now. Harry Kane still hasn't scored yet this season, I don't believe. So I think he will come in. I think that dynamic duo that we saw last year will start linking up. Although Arsenal has a pretty good defense, I think Spurs are just going to dominate with Kane and Son up front and win this game 3-1. For our final game this week, we have a big rivalry between Crystal Palace and Brighton. This is finally another Monday game. I've been waiting for these because I live on the West Coast. So 12 o'clock start time for me. I am a Palace fan, so I'll be watching this obviously. Palace, although losing 3-0, one of my friends is a Liverpool fan, and all he had to say was about good stuff about Palace. Um, our defense looks really good. Michael Elise came on, looked really good. So I'm expecting uh, Michael Elise to actually start this game over Jordan Ayew. I'm tired of Ayew. I'm sure everyone that is a Palace fan is tired of Jordan Ayew. So I think it's time to give Michael Elise that start. Um, I believe Benteke will start this game as well, just because he is a more physical person and can defend on corners a little better than Odsonne Edouard. So I think Odsonne Edouard will come off the bench, if not maybe even start at with two strikers in this game potentially. So Brighton, on the other hand, has won 4 out of 5 games this season. I don't want to give Brighton this result though, just because I'm a Palace fan. So I'm going to give Palace a 2-1 win in this game. Those have been my predictions for game week 6 of the Premier League. If you enjoyed the video, please make sure to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Still looking to grow the channel. Yeah, that's not much said after that. Thank you for watching, and I'll be back next week, hopefully with another Premier League game week prediction and maybe something new. With that, I'll see you guys next time.